Hello and welcome back to my channel. So because we are a decent chunk through January, I wanted to do a little reading update, a January TBR update, to kind of talk about the books that I have read off my TBR, what I'm currently reading, all of that good stuff. So I had about 5 books on my January TBR. I have read 3 of those, which honestly I'm very proud of myself for. I have 2 books on my TBR that I have not yet started or gotten to, and I am currently reading 2 books. So we will see if I fully complete my January TBR. So let's talk about the 3 books that I have finished that were on my TBR. The first one is Dungeons and Drama by Christy Boyce. This is a really cute, nerdy YA rom-com. Our main character is a theater nerd, and as a sort of punishment for getting in trouble, she has to work at her dad's game shop and is very annoyed by this. This was super cute, and I was really excited to read this as I found out that the author was local and was having a local signing for her newer book, Dating and Dragons. And so I wanted to read this to get to the new one and to have my books signed and meet the author. It was a really lovely event, a really lovely experience. The next book that I finished this month that was on my TBR was Heavenly Tyrant by January Zhao, and this is the sequel to Iron Widow. This was absolutely everything I wanted in a book in a sequel, and I devoured this so quickly. And as you can tell, I tabbed a lot of it. There are just so many like incredible moments in writing and just quotes. It was just so good, and I honestly respect January Zhao for just not holding back in any capacity in this book. I loved it. I loved it. It was so good. If you have not read Iron Widow or the sequel yet, please do. It is so worth it. And I honestly think I enjoyed Heavenly Tyrant more than I did Iron Widow. It is definitely a bit of a different vibe. I think Heavenly Tyrant is way more political intrigue, and Iron Widow is a lot more kind of physical battle heavy. I honestly kind of just prefer the political intrigue and the toxic manipulation, and just like, it was so good. It was so good. So the next book that I finished this month was Gwen and Art Are Not in Love by Lexi Crocher, and I had so much fun with this. This is a historical fantasy rom-com and is a Arthurian legend inspired story. One of our main characters is the descendant of King Arthur, and then our other character is the Princess of England, and they are betrothed to be married, but surprise, they're both gay and are not romantically interested in each other. And it is just kind of the adventure of her falling in love with her lady knight, and Arthur falling in love with Gabe, who is the prince. And it is just really fun. So the 2 books that I have put on my January TBR that I have not yet started or read yet, one of them was an arc that actually came out January 7th, so I'm very behind on this, but that is The Last Bookstore on Earth by Lily Braun Arnold, I believe the author's name is. This is a sapphic dystopian story about our main character who has kind of survived the end of the world in the last bookstore on Earth. And it sounds really interesting, but I just have not quite been in the mood for it. And I am just such a big mood reader. I don't want to start reading it and then just have a sour taste because I'm not in the mood for it. But I would really like to read this before the end of the month, especially because I have another arc that is due in February. So the last book that I have on my January TBR that I have not gotten to is House of Frank by Kay Sinclair. I have been so excited to get to this since I first heard about it. It sounds like everything I love in a book, and it is essentially about our main character who is trying to do her sister's last wishes and plant her sister's ashes in the Ash Gardens, the famed Ash Gardens. And so she comes to this house and just ends up staying for a lot longer than expected. And I've heard this just deals really well with grief and found family. And I have seen so many people that have cried about this book. So I am so excited to read this. I just want a good, like, cozy, heart-wrenching, heartwarming story. So now onto the 2 books that I am currently reading. The first one is A Drop of Venom by Sajni Patel, and this is an Indian mythology inspired retelling of Medusa. and I'm about 50 pages in. I am listening to it on audio because I always need an audiobook to be able to pull up whenever I need it. And so far, I'm really, really enjoying this. I think I'm going to absolutely love it. So I am very excited. And the last book is Legendborn by Tracy Deonn. I am so excited to finally be getting to this. I have been telling myself that I'm going to read this for over a year now, and I'm finally doing it. I am doing a buddy read of this with a friend that I met on BookTok. I am less than 30 pages in, but I'm already loving this so far. I love the writing style, and I think this one is going to be really, really good. So that is my January TBR update. Definitely let me know what you have been reading. If you have read any of these, what you thought of them. I would love to have that discussion with y'all, and I will see you in my next video.